The film starts when Dave, who uncannily resembles a young M. Night Shyamalan, receives a box in his house. The box contains a DVD with the phrase, "Watch me." Dave plays the DVD. And although we can't see what he's watching, we can see in Dave's face that it ain't cartoons. The whistle may remind you how the first Creep movie ended. A friend arrives at Dave's house, our dear friend Aaron. Dave tells him about an odd thing that happened. Someone called him and sent him some packages. And despite it having stopped for a while, it's now restarted. Our point of view is inside the box. And Aaron gets close to us, revealing that the package contains a stuffed baby wolf. It also contains a video of Dave in his house the night before. Despite Aaron insisting on calling the police, Dave says no, since the last time, nothing happened. Dave goes to grab some beers in the kitchen. And Aaron flirts with us to the camera, revealing who really is the author of the video. "Oh, Dave, you are in real danger. And not because of the gluten in the beers." Dave and Aaron drink the beers, and Aaron spills some tea. He's worried about them. Dave says he thinks they're cool, but Aaron says nope. This friendship started as a match made in the stars, and now it's just a disappointing relationship. With a heavy sprinkle of drama, Aaron says that if their relationship is not going to be awesome, it is better to end it that night. Dave laughs, saying that's unnecessary, like any reasonable person would. Aaron hits him with the question, "Do you ever think about how we met right around the same time you received your first DVD in the mail?" And of course, nothing good can come from there. Aaron reveals how he's been filming every moment with Dave to make an 80-minute film to give him as a gift, but now he can't. Aaron is going through a midlife crisis. And of course, the best way to share that with your friend is by slitting his throat, finishing the beer, and asking yourself, what's happening? Like any regular 40-year-old. Then, we meet Sarah, a YouTuber, whose target is to investigate and show the people behind the ads she finds on the web, which are usually people that are just lonely. Like Aaron, Sarah is going through a crisis since she feels talentless, because no one watches her YouTube channel. The next day, after a breakdown, Sarah finds an ad from someone looking for a videographer who is a fan of things like Interview with a Vampire and offers $1,000 per day, so Sarah writes to them. The reply comes instantly, asking Sarah if she scares easily, and she, of course, says no. Therefore, they agree to meet each other. Sarah drives for more than 3 hours, looking for the address to which Aaron sent her while she records everything. The cabin is in the middle of a forest, and before Sarah meets him, she tells us that this episode is different. She usually knows things about the people she films, but this time, she knows almost nothing, and also, we know this guy has been spying on her, so she doesn't know what on earth she's about to get into. She knocks on the cabin door, but the house is open, so she enters. The sudden sound of a blender starts, and there he is, Aaron. He's making green smoothies and cheers with Sarah. Aaron introduces himself and asks Sarah for a hug. You know, just normal Aaron things. Even though Sarah is filming everything, it seems like Aaron is interviewing her, asking what she does. When Sarah asks him what he does, he calmly says that he is a serial murderer, and he loves it, but now, after his 40th birthday, he is in a middle-age crisis and doesn't feel as good as he used to. Then, he quotes Francis Ford Coppola and says he doesn't know if he's capable of doing something original, but he would love to try. And of course, Aaron thinks that's the spirit. Then, he says to Sarah that he would love to make a documentary about his passion, and that's where Sarah comes in handy. She will record it that very night. What would you do in that situation? I guess your answer would not be the same as Sarah, who said yes without hesitation. Aaron shows her an old recording that, if you've watched the first Creep, you will recognize immediately, but if you haven't, don't be anxious. In a few seconds you will find out what it is about. After watching Aaron's masterpiece, he grabs the camera and asks Sarah what she thinks. She says it is interesting. After excusing himself for a second, Aaron leaves the room and comes back covered only by a towel on his waist. Then he gives a speech. Between a man and a woman, there's always a barrier, and it begs the question, how would he or she look? And he decides to tear down that wall and drops the towel. Sarah remains calm and gives the camera to Aaron and says it is her turn, undressing for him. With everything clear, Sarah goes to the bathroom and records herself in what looks like the confession room of a naughty's reality show. In there, Sarah debates if she should run away before all of Aaron's red flags come home to roost. But Aaron is everything she wanted and needed for her YouTube show. Of course, YouTube comes first. Thanks for sacrificing for us, Sarah. Aaron tries to jump scare Sarah, not only once but twice before leaving his home, but Sarah doesn't fall for it. On the road, Aaron wears a wolf mask and drives, while Sarah tries to get to know him better by asking personal questions, which he doesn't answer. Of course, he tries to scare Sarah one more time, but she doesn't bite. They walk through a forest, and Sarah keeps asking questions that end up irritating Aaron. He promises he has a perfect spot for the interview, so asks her to wait for it. They reach a small river, and Aaron loses his mind since there is almost no water due to a drought. Aaron had everything planned to make wonderful shots about himself in the river and to end it by jumping off into the water from a bridge, but now it's impossible. Sarah reminds him of Francis Ford Coppola and asks him what he would do. As in Hearts of Darkness, Aaron tells the camera a story, but several interruptions happen, and of course, he loses his mind and throws rocks at some birds. After a little breakdown, Aaron excuses himself and takes a break. As Sarah says, he is a drama queen. She walks through the forest trying to find him when she hears something, and is not sure if it is Aaron trying to scare her again. Then, she finds Aaron snoring. Aaron grabs her hand and asks her not to leave, and Sarah promises she won't. At Aaron's cabin, Sarah films herself and says that Aaron hasn't spoken to her since his breakdown, and keeps playing the same 90s song. She debates herself between leaving him alone or provoking him and obtaining the material for her show. Of course, she will get us that creepy stuff from him that we're craving. Aaron is now in a jacuzzi, and when Sarah enters, he asks her to leave. He doesn't want to continue the documentary recording. Sarah insists and turns off the music. Aaron asks Sarah to put it back on, and Sarah deep dives into his obsession with that song. Aaron knows what she's doing, and he avoids her question because, as he assures her, she doesn't want to know Aaron's history. Sarah insists, and Aaron starts to tell her about his teenage years. When he was 15, he could pass as an 18-year-old, and that allowed him to go to bars and concerts. One band came to his town and played that song, and he became hypnotized by it. The song's name was Sarah Loves Her Juicy Fruit, and it's the one that he has kept playing for the past hour. The night of the concert, he went to a party with the band, and it was the first time he felt part of something. The band left the next morning, and Aaron walked to his town. He hitchhiked and one car stopped. When he opened the door, the man said, "Oh my God, this is going to be a wonderful day." The guy didn't take him to town, but instead, he took him to a forest and hit him several times, made him dig his own grave, knotted his hands, and told him he would. Aaron felt at that moment that he should be angry, but the truth is that he felt mesmerized by that man. He was charming and strong, but his only flaw was that he was very bad at making knots. Aaron took off the rope and put his hand around the man's neck, and you can guess what happened next. At that moment, Aaron felt that it was his destiny to take people's lives. And also, as if this isn't creepy enough, he confesses to Sarah that his ritual is to spend the night with his victim's body, to absorb one part of their soul. But now, that touch is gone, and Aaron is beyond sad, so that's why he's asking Sarah to leave. Sarah, who is an amazing anthropologist at this point, gets in the jacuzzi with Aaron and gives him a massage so he calms down. After feeling better, Sarah goes to take a shower, and Aaron is as confused as we are about her continued presence in the cabin. Aaron takes the camera while Sarah is in the shower, and thanks her for what she did for him. He gets his spark back and grabs a knife, and enters Sarah's bathroom. He tries to jump scare her, but she has her face covered in masking tape, and he is the one who got scared off. What a match of people. They play hide and seek in the cabin, and it is Sarah who wins the game, scaring Aaron. As though it is a normal date night, Sarah interviews Aaron while he cuts trunks with an axe and plays pool, while telling her his feelings and wishes. Sarah washes the dishes and Aaron films her. He acts a bit weird, yeah, weird, even for Aaron's standards, and Sarah asks him to leave the camera alone. Sarah serves some wine and brings a glass to Aaron, and they have a conversation where Aaron talks about morals. He reveals to Sarah that he has known for the entire time that she is hiding a knife in her boots. After that, Aaron asks Sarah to be completely honest and answer if she really thinks he is a serial murderer. Sarah says no, and Aaron asks why. Sarah explains the facts that she finds dubious, and Aaron says that she has fair points, but that she won't go to the police the next morning because that night she will. Sarah hesitates, but Aaron explains that it will be the cherry on the cake for his career. Aaron is super excited, as if he is waiting for friends to come over to a huge party, while Sarah keeps recording. Aaron promises Sarah that he will explain every step since, well, he has done it 39 times. They put the camera on a table and give Sarah an axe. Then he lies on the coffee table and explains to Sarah what she has to do with the axe, just let it fall through the neck. Sarah asks him if he has final words, and he says that he's already said a lot. Sarah grabs the axe, but she can't do it. Aaron grabs a rope and put it around his neck, and enthusiastic as he is, says it is a better idea. Sarah keeps rolling the camera, and he jumps. Sarah tries to save him, and the rope breaks. Aaron grabs the camera and looks for Sarah. He tells her his new idea, but she's getting dressed, and Aaron asks what she is doing. Sarah is leaving, and Aaron asks her to stay while he apologizes. Aaron gives Sarah a harness, showing her the trick under his shirt when he jumped with the rope. Then, he confesses that he really likes her and wants to get close to her. He just wanted to give her the best episode of her show. After this crazy and emotional confession, Sarah thanks him. They play 2 lies and 1 truth, and Aaron starts. His 3 stories are that he was born 3 months before, he never slept with a woman, and that he can hold his breath for 2.5 minutes. Sarah says that she thinks the true one is the breathing, but Aaron says it is number 2. He's a virgin. Sarah laughs, saying he's lying, but he confesses his origin story. He never developed a normal link with anybody. Sarah says she can give him his first kiss, and oh Sarah, she does. Aaron takes Sarah to the forest in the middle of the night and asks Sarah to close her eyes. Despite her hesitations, she does, and Aaron gives her a reliquary with a picture of him. Aaron takes her to the grave, and that's where Sarah finds out what's going on. Really, Sarah? Aaron takes the camera and films Sarah and shows her the knife. Sarah is scared for the first time, and Aaron uses the knife, stab while Sarah watches. Aaron asks her to do the same. Selves like Romeo and Juliet, and gives Sarah the knife, but she runs away and Aaron tries to follow her. Lost in the forest and bleeding, he tries to find where Sarah is. She jump scares him and tries to stab him, but he drops the camera, takes her behind a tree and ends her. Then, he puts her body in the grave. Then, he confesses to the camera that he's sad that she won't see her best episode. But behind him, Sarah climbs out of the grave and with the shovel, hits his head. Goodbye, Aaron. Later, someone follows Sarah, who has changed her looks, and in the New York subway, Sarah finds out who is recording her. Yep, that whistle guy. So the moral of the story is, beware of Craigslist, friends.